adventure made for capitalism by capitalism. Inflate our impressions and egos by staying tuned after the showcase.
World premiere.
Babe, what's wrong?
I'm sorry. I've just been so depressed lately.
You know, it would fix everything. Humanzapro. Yeah, humans are barely sentient. Scientists have done studies, and their brains are like half the size of ours.
World premiere. At Xbox, we strive to put the player first. And that's what you've seen from us over the years. We've led the industry with backward compatibility. We championed crossplay and cross-progression. We deliver Game Pass, first on console, then on PC, and with cloud gaming. So what's next? How can we give you even more freedom, more choice, more ways to play? Our next step is to unify your gaming no matter where you buy or play. So we're building an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device. The Xbox Ally is an Xbox you can hold in your hands, bringing together the power of Xbox and the freedom of Windows. On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect. And the highly anticipated Hollow Knight Silksong will be available at launch and in Game Pass when the Ally releases later this year. In fact, every new game you see in today's show will be playable on the Xbox Ally. We have always wanted you to have the unique experience of Xbox on any screen. That's why we're investing in Xbox Play Anywhere. Whether you're playing on console, PC, smart TV, or any Windows handheld like the new Xbox Ally, the Xbox experience roams with you. Your library, progression, friends, and achievements. There are over 1,000 Xbox Play Anywhere games on Xbox today. And every new game you see in today's show, from our partners and our studios, is Xbox Play Anywhere. And because it's Xbox, you can always have access to Game Pass with a diverse lineup of games from the biggest franchises to critically acclaimed indie hits. This is the freedom we believe players should have. Any game, anywhere. And we are giving it our all every day to make this vision real. But it all comes back to the games. From Dead to Rights on the original Xbox to Armored Core 6, our relationship with Bandai Namco Entertainment has stood the test of time. We both believe in bringing amazing experiences to players around the world, and their next game does exactly that. From Rebel Wolves Studio, this is a story-rich action RPG steeped in dark fantasy that I can't wait for you to explore. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Monsters have always been here, watching from the shadows. And when we were at our weakest, they came out into the light. We feared for our lives, but we should have feared for our souls instead. The vampires didn't come to kill us. No, they came to rule. To turn us into mindless, docile cattle. Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them. But I became something else instead. Their worst nightmare. Trapped between the two worlds. Fighting to even the score. Fighting to understand the evil behind it all.
He is out there, watching, seeping into you, growing.
Got your back, Yakumo. You're a wanted criminal now.
I'll kill the Dark Dragon myself. It's my mission. My duty as a Raven Ninja.
Breaking the Dark Dragon free has its consequences.
This is it.
Sayori.
Ryu, there's something I need your help with.
The Dark Dragon is mine.
Here we go.
Good luck, Indy.
What are you doing, Jones? Are you crazy?
This is where it starts. Beneath the streets of Rome. Enter the city of Antioch. Find a secret relic. Bring it back to the Holy See. Defend the secret. They worshipped the giants.
World premiere.
はるか昔、この国に輪廻の獣が現れた。輪廻の獣は汚れを吐き、あらゆる生物を蝕んだ。西暦4026年、人類は滅亡を待つのみ。封じ後エマ、お前こそが輪廻の獣を滅ぼす刃となる。
The glittering streets of Avalon sure do shine. Because they swoop their filth down to us.
Get your paper in! Who's for a paper?
Here's to playing in the mud. Life here ain't for the soft-hearted.
You will be paying me back until you fucking rust.
It ain't for the spineless.
Keep your filthy pickers off me!
And it sure as shite ain't for the decent.
That's a clean sweep for one.
There has been a crime! Justice itself has been affronted! I have been burgled!
Lord Griswick.
Burgled!
Yes, I got that part. Do you know anyone who might wish you ill? We can't arrest and question everyone. Let's see if we can narrow the suspects down a bit.
They were,
Trust your instincts, sir.
tall,
Yes, sir.
built rather slim, well, muscular. Mm-hmm. Was very quick, agile.
Go on.
With a mustache. No, larger.
I see.
Quite fashionable. That's the fiend who robbed me.
They got my good side this time. Breaking in is the easy part.
Your brandy, sir.
Getting away with it is the real trick.
These candlesticks ain't gold. Worthless and dull, just like you. Nah, I have a customer. How can I help you?
I'd rather talk to you, Errol. Sounds like I'll get a better deal.
You talk to me first, and him never. Got it?
Uncle's a bit touchy, ain't he, Errol?
Touchy? I say I'm touchy! There. Anything else you'd care to say to Errol? Brains. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
Round here, it's all sharp edges, empty pockets, and blood on the cobbles. Goodbye, Silas.
No, no!
I'll hurt you, you fucking meatsack! I'll leave you with a pissing pan of peaches!
You'd either got a gang at your back, or a knife in it.
We're family here. Family takes care of its own.
Can't put a price on that, can you?
Them's in charge. They don't keep order. They keep power.
Take this thing into the crucible and melt it.
They just want us beaten, broken, and too scared to fight back.
I don't want to kill him!
That's why it pays to be clever and well-armed. Let's go and end a few arguments. Don't get cocky. They've got a weapon far worse. Time. And if they can rewrite history, they can rewrite us. But look who just found Mummy's keys. Now I can fiddle with time. Put the bullet back in the barrel. Bring the chaos to a crawl. Take a mistake and make it like it never happened. We can change the world as we know it. One choice at a time. And I can even go back and change the past to change the future. And let me tell ya, the hunters don't like it when the rabbits got the gun.
Now let me alone and piss off!
Our creative teams are dedicated to bringing players award-winning, record-breaking, critically acclaimed games. Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 from Activision, Doom, The Dark Ages from Bethesda, Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred from Blizzard, and Avowed from Xbox Game Studios. All of our teams across Xbox First Party are shipping their most played games ever, and they're also delivering more content than ever before. From original single-player experiences to vast online worlds, our teams are empowered to build the games they've always dreamed of. We want our players to have the choice and flexibility of where and how they play the games our teams make. So of course, our games will be available day one in Game Pass, and every new game we make for both Xbox consoles and PC will be Xbox Play Anywhere. On behalf of our creative teams, thank you. These experiences don't stop when you put down the controller. As you've seen in recent years, more and more of our characters, stories, and worlds are expanding to brand new audiences through TV and film. A Minecraft movie and the Fallout TV series broke records and brought millions of players into the game. We have more projects in the works as gaming continues to influence film and television like never before. When it comes to growing new franchises, Obsidian is having a year like no other. From launching a blockbuster new game like Avowed to the upcoming release of The Outer Worlds 2 this October. Obsidian is always delivering great games, and they have a third game launching this year. You'll get to go deeper on it in our Direct, but until then, let's take a look.
World premiere.
I told you, you can't run from me, you foul beast! With new flexible legs, the yoke girth action figure can ride anything!
Breaking news. There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will and left to fight for their survival in the backyard of a deranged scientist. Formerly evil company Ominent Practical Technologies was set to dedicate a statue of the 4 teenagers, fast food science robot Burgle, and Dr. Tully when an explosion erupted. Dr. Tully and the teenagers' current whereabouts are also unknown.
You gotta keep them separated.
The predecessor, ND3500, reached. Accessing predecessor's travel log. Attempting data salvage.
I have encountered an unprecedented orphan. It was in a state of suppressed recomposition.
The behavior pattern of the orphans populating the area is highly unusual. they become exceptionally aggressive. It is highly recommended to proceed with caution. They seem to act more consistently, in coordination. Destroying the nest is now a priority. Such is our calling.
Such is our calling.
World premiere.
Mayday! Mayday! Hope one to mission control. We're falling! Thomas, the ship's breaking apart. There's no time. Evacuate now! Thomas, come in!
Ariane, you sacrificed everything for a new world, to save mankind. And I'll always love you for that.
Thomas, wherever you are, I'll find you.
Welcome to England, Mr. David. I know this must be a shock, having never met your real father, but he left you this hotel in his will. It's been in your family for generations, much like the caretaker. He's a little eccentric. You'll see.
Let me welcome you to the Grand, a hotel famous across the land. Every room used to be in such high demand. Your wish I'll command here at the Grand.
Well, hello there. It looks like you're about to do some renovations. Would you like some help with that?
So, my father was renovating the hotel when he disappeared?
Not just the hotel. He was helping the entire village. You have his power tools. You know, you could pick up where he left off. You seem like a good man, like he was.
I'm in. They don't suspect a thing.
Just make sure the locals don't get wind of what you're really up to. Because if they find out, they will wicker man your ass.
You keep looking into things, and things are gonna start looking bad. Don't make the same mistake your father made. In this place, the only one you can really trust is me.
As many gods in the world as there are stars in the heavens, and when we need their help, they send us a hero. Who would have guessed the defender of my homeland would be my daughter?
She unlocked the heavenly spear, but is she worthy?
You can't rule if the heavenly spear is mine.
주권 국가의 자주적 결정을 누가 허락하는가? 만약 이 결정이 패권 국가의 특정 정치 집단의 이익을 저해한다면 당신의 특정 행동이 대중의 의사결정에 영향을 미칠 수 있으며 반대로 누군가는 당신의 의사결정에 영향을 주려 한다는 것을 인지할 때 자신만의 온전한 입장을 세울 수 있지 않을까? 당신의 입장은 온전한 본인의 판단인가? 그렇게 믿고 있거나 믿고 싶을 뿐. 당신은 무엇 때문에 분노하는가? 당신의 분노는 스스로 결정한 것인가? 누군가 당신의 분노를 이용한다. 지정태. 지정태!
World premiere.
E ora olaiem loite fativi. Novo. Ilo? Te kemaite mana. Muite unanite waeora. Dia. Novo tua libemo iwalotaname. Ona utalima di efema. Teonami. Toma tua calio, terali.
Well, hello there. Beautiful day to relax by the old fishing hole, wouldn't you say? When it comes to fishing, Appalachia is a land aswim with opportunity. Yes, you'll find fish of all flavors in every walk of waterway, from its mightiest of rivers to its humblest of ponds. Just step up to the bank, cast your line, and when your bobber starts bobbing, reel in the rewards. What do you got on there, Jed? Worms. And how are they biting today?
See for yourself.
Bagging the big fish starts with finding the right tools for the job. There are as many unique combinations of rods, reels, bobbers, and baits as there are fish in the sea. And when you've caught your fill, pop over to the local tackle shop to swap fish tails. Can you smell that? No matter what troubles plague the future wastelands of Appalachia, you can always find comfort in cozy little joys like this. You just gotta know where to look. Vault Life is your ticket to easy living. Design and build your own little slice of paradise. A place to show off all the bits and bobs you collect in your travels. Got a green thumb? Plant your own peaceful vegetable garden. And nothing warms the heart like a neighborhood cookout. Community makes a wasteland a waste home. Join today, and tomorrow you'll be kicking back and sharing a meal with friends in beautiful Appalachia.
World premiere. World premiere.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I just want to say thanks to everyone for all the love and support we've seen since we announced Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 a few months ago. These games have changed my life, but more than that, I've seen them help spread a love and appreciation for skating all over the world, and that means everything to me and the team. I can't wait for you all to experience the game. It's been rebuilt with so much care and attention to detail, with some brand new parks, new music, new skaters, and more. And you can enjoy it all with your friends with up to 8 players in multiplayer. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 officially drops July 11th, and we have a lot more surprises to come. Check out the launch trailer now.
decided to show up. It's game time, baby!
You think you can still find your way back home, Phoenix?
Looks like they upgraded. Nausea, baby! Let's do this.
This is gonna be awesome.
Form up!
World premiere.
The Smugglers League is always there. But you won't see us. You won't hear us. And the only way you'd ever know it is if that's what we wanted. As smugglers, we deal in the goods others are afraid to handle. Guns, explosives.
And don't forget the rum.
It's a life of danger like no other. So I guess my question is, can you handle that?
Getting your hands on gold is one thing, but you should know that this is what we're really after. The bigger the boom, the better. Smugglers need to be adaptable. It's more than moving under moonlight and shadows. You should be ready to take advantage of others' misfortune. Stealing, of course, is always an option. Just do whatever it takes to get the job done. You are pirates, after all.
Welcome, my friends, to the Smugglers League. You're paying for that.
World premiere.
Hope you're not in a hurry because northbound is backed up all the way to 18th Street, and the southbound ain't looking much better.
This is ridiculous. Please, come on.
Are you one of them? You're here, but it's
Had enough yet?
No, Dad, not even close.
hoped you'd understand why I had to do this. Accept our rule or die.
I'd like to propose a third option.
I'm not your son anymore. I'm the guy who's going to throw you off this planet for good. I trusted you!
Ready to bleed? This is over. All right, coming through.
Let's do this!
Gotcha!
Come here. Need a hand? Might want to look up.
See how you like this? It's an army!
I am ending you. I see it all now.
I'm here to even the odds. Any objections?
Know your place, little lamb. There's no one to save you now.
Your flames are our own, and they burn as one.
Come to me, Ifrit!
Valisthea cannot endure a second claim upon her being, but she may yet be saved by you.
World premiere.
Games like Psychonauts 2 showed how Double Fine excels at creating unique and innovative experiences, and Keeper is no exception. Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the platform and franchises that you helped build and make popular. We couldn't have done this without everyone who's been with us on this journey. As we think about bringing a new generation of players to these iconic franchises, I'm excited to share that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. Today, you've seen an incredible range of games from creators across the globe. Creators like In Exile, reaching for new heights with Clockwork Revolution. Sluggerfly, making Team Meat's modern classic platformer into 3D. Square Enix, bringing more of the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy franchise to our players. And Team Ninja, returning to the beloved series they debuted on Xbox. You've also seen the next Xbox hardware release, our Xbox Ally Handheld, which lets you bring your Xbox experience and your library with you anywhere. I hope you enjoyed the breadth and depth of the games, updates, and experiences that are coming to Xbox from our partners and our own creative teams. We're seeing more players on our platform and in our games than ever, thanks to all of you. We're proud of the creativity that Obsidian is delivering this year. Immediately after Showcase, our Direct begins, where you'll go inside the studio for an extended look at The Outer Worlds 2 and Grounded 2. Thanks for joining us today. But before we get into the Direct, we have a final world premiere. Enjoy.
World premiere.
Welcome to the Guild. We have been expecting you. Please, follow me. You already know us as a global tech leader. Our software, our systems, combined with our skilled team, is designed to save lives. Your years of service have shown you the importance of our work. Here, you'll witness the global scope of that mission in action. Let me introduce you to our esteemed visionary.
For too long, we have been bound by outdated systems, accepting limitations instead of redefining them. The Guild is safeguarding tomorrow, now. We are pioneering the future of protection worldwide. Our advancements are designed to elevate everyday life, reshaping the future of technology on a global scale. I'm Emma Kagan, CEO of the Guild.
Fear is a powerful thing. David Mason.
Menendez.
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. We here at the studio have joked around that this has been the year of Obsidian, with Avowed releasing early this year and now ending the year with 2 more games. And what better way to cap this incredible year for us than by doing what our studio does best, sequels.
That's where I come in. You can get out of here, Fergus. Thank you so much. No, you're doing great. You nailed it. The sequel is the lifeblood of every great franchise. Think about it. The original creates the world and builds fandom, but the sequel, that's what makes it worth remembering. No sequel, no hoverboard. No sequel, no dual SMGs. No sequel, no raccoon tail. No sequel, no Zune 2. Which doesn't really exist, but I wish it had.
There was a Zune 2.
There was a Zune 2? I'm Mark, the head of sequels here at Obsidian, and I have sequelized everything. Blockbuster movies to AAA video games to my first marriage, so trust me, I know what I'm doing. Come along on this journey with me. Part 2.
Let the killing commence.
The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1. It's a continuation of the themes of robber barons in space and how people are controlled by the stories they're told by the people who have power over them. This time we're able to go a lot deeper because we have more time and money, which is a great thing, and we're able to make it a much more true Obsidian reactive RPG than we were the first time around. So we're going deeper and more complex with everything for this sequel. Deeper story, lore, RPG interactions, reactivity, all the things we've been known for as a company. It's really a complete realization of everything people want from an Obsidian game. Surprisingly, this is the first time in over 25 years that I've had the chance to do a full sequel for a world that I helped co-create. It's really just a fantastic opportunity to explore and expand the universe in interesting ways, and to go even further with the themes of how people are affected by living in a dystopian corporate reality.
You can shoot your way through it, you can talk your way through it, you can sneak your way through it. And so no matter what kind of playstyle that you like, this is just an awesome franchise and an awesome game to jump into, even if it's your first one.
The first Outer Worlds was a great base to start from, as it has all the elements of a great Obsidian RPG. Interesting characters, deep worlds, important choices. In the Outer Worlds 2, not only did we want to double down on those elements, but we wanted to give players even more of it.
We've also put a lot of investment into skills and traits that impact things like combat, conversations, and areas that we call RPG interactions, which are the part of the world where players can use their specific skills, perks, and backgrounds to solve problems in unique ways in our new, bigger worlds.
I love a deep RPG experience, and building out that RPG crunchiness for our players was at the forefront of what we set out to create. We prioritize those deeper RPG options with different character builds and combos so players can express their role-playing power fantasies. We also have different equipment options for different playstyles and different companions with different abilities. In the first Outer Worlds, you start off as the Stranger, which was basically a blank slate to build on top of with various attribute points that would begin to define your personal experience in the game. You can make any kind of character you want, but we've given you a role. That role is an Earth Directorate agent. You can think of them as kind of like space cowboys or space sky marshals. They're the good guys that go into places and kind of fix everything that's wrong. You're gonna be one of those. But we don't tell you why you joined the Earth Directorate. There could have been a lot of different reasons, right? It could have been because you're an actual lawbringer and you want to go in there and spread law throughout the galaxy. It could be that you're a roustabout and you just had nothing better to do. After you pick your background, one of the really important choices you have next is choosing your traits. While we had attributes in the first Outer Worlds, we've leaned into traits for the Outer Worlds 2, which are these big changes to your character depending on which ones you pick. So it could be something like Brilliant, where you can tag extra skills and you start getting extra skill points. And that's obviously really great if that's how you want to build your character. You can also go and do something like Lucky, where you get extra critical chance, and you also get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back dumb, so players love the dumb option.
Tell me, do you believe in signs? Not quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could put your adventurous spirit to good use.
You get like lots of really cool, fun conversation options in the game, but we took that even further. And again, there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb and use that for something. Could be something as simple as banging on a machine to get it to work. After you've invested in some of your traits, your next choices are going to be choosing your skills. The skills themselves basically allow you to build on your playstyle and what your character is doing in the game. That will be everything from playing stealthily to speccing for an explosive specialty. Throughout your entire journey, your character continues to change with the different choices you make. In the Outer Worlds 1, actually had more skills than we have, so we condensed them down to really the core and essence of what we really wanted there. But we made each point that you put into a skill much more impactful. So instead of getting small percentage changes, we actually did much larger changes per point that you put into each skill. And again, all these things, because of how they're checked inside the world itself, can matter quite a bit. You know, just even having one additional skill point in something can open up a lot more options in the world itself. If anybody's played Fallout New Vegas, they'll be very familiar with like the perk system. We basically borrowed that, but went even grander. We actually have more perks than Fallout New Vegas did. But here's the cool thing, right? We check and use perks for literally everything, right? So you can do everything from, hey, I want to make a stealthy build that steals stuff and is really good at that. Okay, great. Well, you can take maybe the pickpocketing perk. So that's not available to everybody, but if you select that, now you can actually go around and steal things out of people's pockets. There's another perk called heavy-handed, right? Where say you're a melee person, what this does is now your power attacks that you use actually knock people down.
Oh man, I really like the serial killer perk. As you start killing people, they will drop hearts. And you can take those hearts, and essentially you're taking these trophies, you could say, and it's actually giving you a permanent health bonus every time you do it. We have this perk called Assassin. Now, this is an early game perk that you can take, which every time you stealth attack an enemy, you're actually going to get a movement bonus for a certain amount of time.
Flaws were a system that everybody loved from the first game, but we wanted to make it more personal to the player. We wanted it to really reflect how you were playing the game and give you a bonus that you actually wanted to really engage with.
With the flaw system returning, we knew we needed to go bigger, better, and more real than ever before. So we turned to the team. And I told them, no bad ideas. Give me what you got. Okay, we need more flaws. We need them to be real. I want to put them in the game, so give me something. Inspiration. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I have bad knees.
You got bad knees? They hurt when you walk a lot?
Yes.
When you walk too much, they hurt?
No cartilage.
Sounds boring. Makes you sound like a boring person, but it's in the game.
I know it.
It's a good flaw. What about you?
I like to take small things sometimes.
So you're stealing?
No, I'm taking.
When do you give them back?
I don't.
Claire. Yeah, you shouldn't be stealing. What are you doing? You shouldn't be stealing, Claire.
Tiny crimes.
Tiny crimes? Do you hear the second part, though? It's a crime.
Well,
You're stealing. Claire, that's wrong. You can't steal things, okay? But it's an amazing flaw, and I'm putting it in the game. But you're a bad person. And are you the one that took my stapler?
do you need it?
Yeah. Give it back.
Okay.
Please. You, what do we got? Flaw.
I like to stare at the sun.
How long did you stare at the sun?
Just lunch break.
An hour?
Oh, I only get 30. You guys get an hour?
I get an hour. An hour.
Oh. Makes me feel energized.
How many fingers am I hold up?
3.
No. Anything else? We'll put it in the game. We'll put it in the game because I feel bad for you. Anything else?
One of my favorite flaws is something called bad knees. It will actually give you the option to take this flaw that'll make it so that you move faster throughout the game. But the problem is, anytime you stand up, your knees are going to make a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to hear you.
There's one called Kleptomaniac. This is really interesting because what it does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits than normal. And like that sounds really great. The drawback is sometimes when you're looking at things in the world that are owned by somebody else, you'll automatically steal them. So you have to be very careful about how you use them.
One of our more wacky perks is the Sun Gazer Flaw, and it just gives everyone cataracts while playing their game. So everything becomes like light shafts and blooms and hazes, and makes the game pretty unplayable if you happen to choose that perk.
If you happen to be the type of player that habitually reloads your weapons like I do, well, you'll be offered the flaw of overprepared. Now, you'll get larger magazine sizes on all of your weapons, but if you ever fully empty your magazine, you're gonna take a debuff for a while. While we support options like being a gunslinger who wants to key into destructive weapons, or a rogue who wants to alpha strike their enemies before they know what hit them, we also allow for a lot of fun and experimental builds. You can be a mad scientist who utilizes gadgets and wacky science weapons and armors, or even a psychopath who gains permanent bonuses to health by murdering their friends.
Nothing shows the impact of these character build options better than, in my opinion, the bridge area, which has a quest you get early on in Paradise Island. Not only do you kind of encounter this very early, and it's a very core one to the story, but it really expresses our philosophy of allowing the player to solve problems in a bunch of ways. So you may solve it by, speech options. You may talk to them and maybe have to go do a quest for them and really kind of prove that you're a friend of the Protectorate to get by.
I may have need of your help, stranger, if you are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate.
You could go guns blazing and you could just take everyone out inside the POI, lower the bridge itself, and kind of get across. You could sneak in, lower the bridge, and then actually sneak in under the bridge to get over to the other side. You can bypass the bridge entirely if you found like certain gadgets, like the shield gadget that protects you from poison gas as you go across, or the double jump boots, which kind of allow you to jump across the chasm and get across that way. There's even a really kind of messed up way, right? Which is players can actually sacrifice one of their companions. Their companion who they just found is part of.
We're no different than the Breeze if we start tossing our own to the raps. I sure as law ain't gonna follow someone who can't see the wrong in it.
I must admit I'm surprised we could come to an understanding. But I thank you for your loyalty, stranger. As promised, you shall have clearance to cross this bridge.
It's such a fun quest, but again, it really showcases that we want you to be able to solve this in whatever way you want to. When you build your character your way, we're there for you. We really want you to have the experience that you want to have out of this.
From the very beginning of our discussions about the Outer Worlds, we really knew we wanted every game to take place in a different colony. This lets us expand on all aspects of the universe. Every colony can be its own thing with its own flavor, and we can center them around anything we want. Any ideas or setting we're interested in. Arcadia is an isolated colony with abundant resources, and it's run by an authoritarian faction called the Protectorate. Their dictatorship is thematically based around the question of how much freedom people will give up for security and luxury. For Protectorate subjects, unfortunately, that answer is everything. The Protectorate is also incredibly wealthy because it was founded by the inventor of the skip drives, which are the Outer World's faster-than-light engines. But those skip drives are starting to cause rifts in space-time, which are cutting off all the other colonies on Earth from being able to trade with each other. The Order of the Ascendant is an offshoot of the Order of Scientific Inquiry from the original game, and like them are a science-based religion with the same goal of solving the universal equation, which will allow them to predict and alter the future to the benefit of all mankind. They used to be part of the Protectorate, but they split off to focus on solving the equation for the good of everyone, not as a way to simply control the masses. The player's been sent to Arcadia as an Earth Directorate agent to find out how the skip drives are causing the rifts and what can be done to stop them. Each of the factions have their own solutions to the rift problem and their own goals. The Protectorate wants to close them to protect their legacy as the inventor of the drives and their wealth. The Order wants to close them not only for the good of everyone, but also because they're complicating the math they're using to solve the universal equation. And Antes just wants to be able to open and close them at will to control all the trade routes between the colonies. In addition to expanding the themes and lore of the Outer Worlds, we're also expanding the humor, so each faction has its own flavor of absurdity. Anti's Choice is a merger between Anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice from the original game, and there are corporate representatives in the Outer Worlds too. They've invaded Arcadia to liberate their resources for all of humanity, at a profit, of course.
One of my favorite things from Fallout New Vegas is the radio system. It was just iconic for me, and I wanted to make sure that the Outer Worlds 2 had that. So we actually built out 3 different radio stations, one for each of the major factions. You also have a ton of music. Each station might have, like, I think 20 tracks of unique music that we've made for it. It's a lot of stuff. But the really cool part about this entire thing is that we actually put a lot of reactivity into the radio. So it will respond to the things that are going on around the world that you've been interacting with. So if you go into a location, let's say you solve a problem for the Protectorate folks, if you listen to the Protectorate radio station, they're gonna be cheering you on as a hero.
Wonderful news, everyone. The Zeranium gas leaks at the Automech repair facility, strongly believed to be caused by Anti's Choice malefactors, have been corrected.
Some hotshot for hire just managed to fix the electrum leak in their repair facility. Now, I'm not saying we caused it in the first place, but we sure like the idea of all those broken automechanicals and all the excessive gasping and choking involved.
The factions and companions are great examples of how we're going deeper and more complex this time around. They're integrated into the game's storyline much more than we did on the first Outer Worlds, and like with everything else in the game, they have a lot more reactivity. There are 6 companions in the Outer Worlds too. As usual, each has their own quest lines, but this time they are also connected to a different faction and have character arcs that the player can affect through their choices. Your first companion is Niles. He's another Earth Directorate agent like you, and he's looking for your help to decide whether he wants to become an even better agent or to turn his back on the Earth Directorate completely. There's also a somewhat cute Automech support drone that is basically Niles' helper. Her name is Val. Marisol's part of the Order of the Ascendant, and she's an aging but still deadly assassin. That's right, she's a deadly mathematician who may or may not have some unfinished business to attend to with the player's help. There's also a cultist named Azza, who is part of a sub-faction that worships the rifts, and in her case, violence in general. You can choose to either turn her away from overt violence or support her chaotic and dangerous tendencies. At one time, Anti's Choice had a program to graft soldiers with animal parts to make them more formidable. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work and most of them are now dead. There's a combat medic who survived, however, named Inez, and she wants the player to help her fix her graft, among other things. Finally, there's Tristan. He's a Protectorate arbiter who is judge, jury, and executioner all rolled into one heavily armored package. It is your choice to either help him judge wrongdoers or show him what true justice looks like.
We definitely have reactivity in the game based on how you've been treating your companions. I won't reveal the end of the game, but let's say if you have not been treating them well, you will find out at the end of the game what that means.
Companions are a very, very important part of merchandising, because that's the real beauty of the sequel. We're talking merch, baby. It is the lifeblood. It is what fuels us. Do you want to see some of my ideas? Hop, hop. Check this out. Gen Alpha loves body pillows, especially ones that look like human beings for some reason, right? Who needs a significant other when you could have a knife-wielding space psycho up in your sheets, huh? What do they do with them when they get them, huh? Maybe a little napping, maybe a little snuggling, maybe a little nut.
The visuals of the first Outer Worlds depicted a frontier colony in space. The Outer Worlds 2 is driven by an invasion of the Arcadia colony system by Anti's Choice, which shifts the visuals to be more reminiscent of a World War I-like setting in space. That evolution is seen across all aspects of the game, starting with the factions. How do you militarize everything, including extreme capitalists or math-crazed scientists? In a World War I setting, war comes with propaganda. The Sovereign uses it to maintain control, Anti's Choice uses it to help their bottom line. The Order just wants to show how it exists within the grand plan. We want players to feel like Arcadia is a living, breathing place scarred by a long-standing war. Fairfield, one of the first towns you encounter, was once under Protectorate control, but has recently been taken over by Anti's Choice. They don't just occupy the town, they rebrand it with their signature style, repainting buildings, posting guards, and adding propaganda-based holograms featuring Anti and the Moon Man. Showing the towns evolving after the invasion helps us push immersion for our players. One of our priorities in visually realizing the world of The Outer Worlds 2 was making sure everything is clear and recognizable from the player standpoint. We want to make sure each faction has a particular look and design. So when the player is running across these vast, different environments and landscapes, they're recognizing the motifs and visuals of who they're talking to, what they're going to be talking about, and how that progresses throughout the story. The first Outer Worlds was really about the player interfacing with corporations. And while we have that in The Outer Worlds 2, we really want to express not just the corporations, but how the player interacts with other facets of the world, like government entities or religious structures. And then we elaborate on those.
With larger environments, we wanted to encourage exploration by improving player mobility across the board. Now you can run, slide, double jump, mantle, and parkour your way through all of the nooks and crannies of these worlds. It really allows the player to just explore and have fun finding really cool stuff.
We've aimed to make everything in The Outer Worlds 2 better from top to bottom. The RPG elements were the start, but that's touched our story, our art, and especially our gameplay. A good sequel is true to the original. That's first and foremost, right? Like, we all want to add in a bunch of things as you're making a sequel, right? We want to make it bigger and better in every way. That's what we were trying to do here. And I thought, we did not need this consultant. We've made enough sequels. We understand how to do this. And I will say, I don't think it's been entirely successful.
I am very proud of the combat improvements we have made in The Outer Worlds 2, thanks to my patented combat system. You may be thinking to yourself, it can't be that good. Shush, what are you even talking about? You haven't seen it yet. Watch this. Put a helmet on, because I'm about to blow all of your minds with my COMBAT system, combat system. My name is Mark, I'm the head of sequels. Shall we begin? You're thinking, what's C for? C, capitalize the fact that the people loved the first game. We're gonna take those people, we're gonna make them buy the sequel, giving out pounds, pounds, pounds. Quick ones, ha, ha, not you, Dan. Here we go. What comes after C? O, optimize for player satisfaction. I am terrified of online gamers, okay? I wanna make them happy. So let's, okay? All right. Mobilize the players so they're ready for that sweet, sweet pre-order. Clap with me. Sweet, sweet. If you don't have rhythm, Brandon, just say it. Sweet, sweet pre-order. Everybody has a different rhythm, and it's blowing mine. And here we go. B, burglarize. What is this? It's basically just finding new ways to loot dead bodies. You know what I mean? Right, Otis? Okay, well, it's a big part of the game. A, you gotta agonize about how many people are gonna be angry that we have just put so much combat into this thing and almost no romance at all. We should look at ourselves. What is wrong with us, huh? We can't have one love story in this? How many people have been in love? Raise your hands. Raise your hand if you're in love. Okay, are you lying?
I have a wife.
Put your hand down. T, trois. In French, that means two, sequel.
I think that means 3.
Okay, you're getting ahead of yourself. Come on, Claire, we're on 2. And how do we end it? Anything is possible. And we've established that we're the best there is, and there's no sequel better than us. And if I could just say one more thing, thank you very much. I know I've kind of changed the world of video games today.
For The Outer Worlds 2, we wanted to improve gunplay in every way. We focused on improving the feel of each weapon, the way a weapon snaps into ADS, the way recoil feels when firing, and how impactful our sound effects really sell the weapon's fantasy, to things like how a unique reload animation can add a lot of character to each weapon. We've increased the variety of weapons by including new weapon types, but also through a host of fun and unique weaponry. We have things like the Bourse Blaster that fires out tumors that can explode like grenades, or can even be eaten by the player for additional health. We have a weapon called Rookie's Reward that will actually level up the more you use it throughout the game. And every time it levels up, it's got fun fanfare where it's like shooting out confetti and it's got a fun little setup. We have a really fun weapon called the Pop-Up Gun. It fires out ad drones that will distract your enemies with corporate ads, slogans, and jingles. While your enemies are distracted, you can focus fire on them or explode these drones for additional damage. New to The Outer Worlds 2 are throwables. So you can use frag grenades to flush out enemies, smoke grenades to camouflage and escape, distraction devices to bait enemies into a stealth attack, and even science grenades that will levitate enemies, allowing you to fire upon them while they float helplessly. And of course, science weapons are back. We have returning favorites, like the shrink ray. This time it's been upgraded so you can shrink your enemy down to the size of a sprat and run over them, exploding them into bits.
The shrink ray, that was probably my favorite one from the first game, so we brought it into the second game, but we improved it though. So instead of shrinking your enemies for a short period of time and having them re-expand, this time they stay shrunk, and we actually added in the ability to step on them and kind of squish them and kick them, because we knew that that was the player fantasy. We knew that's what everybody wanted to do. They wanted to step on the enemies, they wanted to kick them, so we made sure to double down on that stuff.
In addition to things like our returning favorites, we also have some really fun and unique new science weapons. One of them is called the Armageddon. This one's really cool because it actually shoots out these masses that are like these little arms that will stick to people or cover or all kinds of different things, and they will continue to just hit them until they get destroyed. And we have another one that's just super cool called the Spectrum Dance Saber. This is a melee weapon that actually lets you attack to a musical beat. And if you continue to do that, you'll actually get additional bonuses each hit you do. One of my personal favorite weapons is called the Big Bang. It's just a big freaking gun that uses material harvested from rifts to shoot out a giant ball of energy, vaporizing everything in its path. Now, ammo's extremely rare for this weapon, but you can use it in just the right situation to devastating effects.
Like another great one is Gary. If you wear Gary, he will lash out at your opponents as you're walking through combat. So we even have science armors, and we've really kind of shown off what we thought was really great for the player from a science perspective.
We're all about letting people play the game their way. There are some players who prefer to be immersed in a first-person view, taking in all of the details. But there are others who really prefer to take the world in from a third-person perspective. Why not allow both? Well, now you can swap between the two, letting you enjoy the experience in whatever way you like. One of the things I really like about having the third-person mode is being able to see all of the fun and unique armors and armor combinations and weapons that you can equip your player with. All of the actions that you could do in first person, so you're double jumping around, you get to see your character in that way, and you get to take in the world and see things in a different light.
The Outer Worlds 2 is really the biggest game we've ever made. Bigger choices, more reactivity, more weapons, more things to find in each of the worlds the players can visit. The team has done incredible work bringing the Outer Worlds 2 to life, and we can't wait for you to play it.
Even though we've always been a multi-project studio, this is going to be the first time we've ever released 3 games in 1 year. It feels amazing to do. We're so excited for more people to be playing our games. It is truly an exciting time here at Obsidian. We're exploring worlds big and small while expanding on franchises that we've created, and we have no plans to slow down. We hope you all continue to come along with us as we do what we do best, make your worlds your way.
With The Outer Worlds 2, we're all about the best place to play, which is also the promise of Xbox. You can play The Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it may be hard to play it when you're staring at all these beautiful holes. Let's cut that. You can play The Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox. Oh yeah, now that's Microsoft. Or you can take a phone call on this Xbox, then play The Outer Worlds 2 right after. Excuse me, I'm getting a call. Hello? What am I doing? I'm playing The Outer Worlds. Hello? Yeah, this is Mark. I didn't know I had jury duty today. You could play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it takes 2 people to lug around safely. We're gonna go up to my apartment, okay? And this is an Xbox you actually wear that also plays the Outer Worlds 2. What do you think, Claire?
This is amazing.
Are you playing?
I think so.
Fantastic. So now this is actually not an Xbox, so you cannot play the Outer Worlds 2 on it. Can't play anything on this. I guess Bread. You ever play Bread where you take it out of one slot, put it in the other? I don't have friends. If you pre-order the premium edition now, you'll get early access, which is like a prequel to the sequel, or has launched the sequel to the pre-order, or like, why are any of us alive at any time? It doesn't matter. Either way, my job here is done. It's time for the Grounded 2 portion of the Direct, which is sort of like the sequel to the Outer Worlds 2 portion of the Direct, which I absolutely just hit a home run with. You know, it's really nice to see my influence go on to other games. Take it away, team. And big exit.
We're so proud of Grounded. What started as a small passion project to make a quirky game where you're shrunk down to the size of an ant, trying to survive in a backyard, grew into something way bigger than we ever imagined. Over 25 million of you jumped in, explored, built, crafted, and fought off giant bugs together. Y'all helped make the entire experience very special to us. The team's been cooking up a ton for Grounded 2, and we're so excited to talk about it. I had to grease some palms to steal a bit of time from the Direct to give you a deeper look. There were so many possibilities and ideas that didn't make it into the first game, so with the sequel, we have the chance to dream bigger. To achieve those dreams, we partnered with the amazing folks at Eidos Montreal. Together, we're taking Grounded from the backyard to an even larger world, the Brook Hollow Community Park.
When we started working on Grounded 2, we knew that we wanted to make a bigger world. Fortunately for us, Eidos Montreal became our main partner on developing Grounded 2. They have a lot of similarities to the sorts of things that are important to us at Obsidian. They tend to make very narratively strong games. They make games with really deep characters and great character progression. They make games with great gameplay.
Everyone at Eidos Montreal is thrilled and honored to be working with Obsidian Entertainment. Our two studios share a lot of DNA. The same things that are important to Obsidian Entertainment are important to us. Choice and consequences, player communities, and doing justice to great IPs and great franchises. The fact that we're the first partners that they're working with to make a sequel to their franchise feels like we're an important part of their history.
The events of Grounded 2 take place 2 years after the first game. The same 4 teenagers are returning.
So there's Max, Hoops, Willow,
and Pete.
They're a couple years older, which means they've gone through a bit more high school, a bit more mature. It's 1992. The world's a little bit different, but we're still in that fun, nostalgic era of the early 1990s. In Grounded 2, we're moving the action out of the backyard and into the Brook Hollow Community Park. Not only is it bigger, it allows us to tell a lot more stories and expand the world of Grounded by exploring what the community of Brook Hollow has been up to and what they've been through.
The park overall is about 3 times the size of the backyard, and our initial starting area is actually the same size as the entire backyard from the first Grounded. The reason we wanted to move into a park wasn't just to create a bigger world, but was to give us the opportunity to explore the community of Brook Hollow and what secrets have they been hiding.
What we love and what we're excited about in terms of the park is the opportunity to create environments and landmarks that are mundane at normal size, but are colossal wonders when you're the size of an ant. Everything from a giant trash can to a community picnic table or a snack bar. All of these areas come to life in a brand new way.
Part of the fun in Grounded 2 is that the park was evacuated really quickly right before our teens were shrunk. And that means that the park has been sort of turned upside down and is in a topsy-turvy state. And that leads to really fun environmental storytelling, but it also leads into the creation of amazing biomes for our characters to explore. One of my favorite examples of this is the ice cream cart. In all of the commotion, the ice cream vendor's cart has been knocked over and its contents have spilled out into the ground. And what this means for our young adventurers is that they'll be able to explore this frozen cave of interesting challenges and colorful Lovecraftian horror.
We have one anthill that's actually somebody decided to bury a bunch of toxic stuff in the park. And so there's all these toxic chemicals under the ground. The environment looks very cool and very spooky with all of these sort of chemical pools. And of course, nothing can live down there except for one type of insect, the cockroach. We're oftentimes reinventing environments, and in future updates, you're gonna see a ton of new stuff. You do a lot of fighting against insects of all shapes and sizes. We didn't just want it to look better, we also knew we wanted to add a new layer of strategy. The changes that we've made aren't limited to tuning animations or adjusting attack or defense numbers or making characters or insects move faster or slower. But we did all that too, but there's also an entire sort of rock, paper, scissors strategy involving light attacks, heavy attacks, and blocking. We've also added dashing as a new way to both get out of danger quickly or jump in for a quick attack. And almost all the insects in the game will have these abilities now too. Sort of like a chess match, but one that's super frenetic, looks super cool, and is ultimately just a ton of fun. We're leaning into clear play styles for tanky warriors, low defense, high damage rogues, effect-wielding mages, and ranged hunters. In the first Grounded, we have mutations, and there were weapons and armors that favored different playstyles. In Grounded 2, not only will there be passive mutations, but there will also be active mutations. And a lot of those mutations support these archetypes.
My favorite way to play pretty much any game is chasing after those game-breaking builds. And that's why I'm so excited for what we're doing with archetypes in Grounded 2. I'm all in on the rogue. Now, you can even dual-wield daggers. I've been dialing in this glass cannon build that stacks ambush, assassin, and cardio fan mutations with the wolfbane daggers and the wolf spider armor. It lets me open up combat with massive backstab damage that also inflicts venom. Then, I can use the extra stamina to reposition and try to dodge, rinse, and repeat. It's high risk, high reward, and absolute chaos in all the best way. I'm looking forward to seeing what wild combos the community comes up with and what they inevitably break once they get their hands on the archetype system. It's going to be awesome watching it evolve with player feedback and watching us try to keep up with all of your game-breaking builds.
One of the great things about Grounded is the variety of players it attracts, from builders to crafters and everything in between. If you've ever watched me on Casually Grounded livestream, you'd know that I'm neither. I am a murderer of insects. Personally, I prefer the term harvester. I love going out, hitting things, and bringing the materials like insect body parts back to my friends to use. This way, we keep progressing and playing together.
We're also trying to make sure that armor and equipment are easily understood by the player, especially when they're playing co-op with their friends. It was really, really important for us to deliver on all of that for the bigger space and experience, because that was the only way we could truly support the feature the community has been asking for since the very first Grounded release. Mounts. Our mounts, we call them buggies, have an entire suite of moves and have their own special abilities and attacks.
We really wanted the buggies to be an extension of the player in every way possible. And that meant making sure that buggies had unique and valuable abilities across all the core pillars of Grounded. So that doesn't just mean exploration and travel. That has gameplay implications for combat, crafting, and building as well. Just like how we wanted to expand on player playstyles throughout the game, we're going to make sure that every buggy that we add has its own personality.
The Red Ant Soldier can enlist up to 2 Red Ant workers to follow you around and help you out. If you get into combat and you don't want to fight while you're saddled on your buggy, you can jump off and they'll fight right alongside you and provide support. The Orb Weaver buggies are a little less useful when it comes to general utility, like building a base or harvesting, but they're awesome when it comes to combat. Sure, their defenses aren't super strong, but they're heavy hitters. They're also super fast and they have some great special abilities, like a scream that allows them to stun lesser-powered insects, and the ability to shoot webs and entangle other creatures. So the Orb Weavers won't be your base building buggy. You should use the Red Ant Soldier for that. But they're super fun for exploration and combat. Red Ant Soldiers and Orb Weaver Spiders will be available at game preview launch. There will be others in the future, but those are the 2 we're starting with. The connection that our Grounded community has with us is something we want to keep forging with the sequel as we make an even bigger game than the original.
Pretty much from day one, we knew we wanted to return to game preview for Grounded 2. Sure, it comes with some trade-offs, like the game's not done and it's out to the world, but there's so much value in building it alongside the community. Buggies change how you traverse and navigate the park. What we're doing with Grounded 2 is we're actually keeping zip lines held back so we can see how players engage with buggies, and then we can tweak zip lines to bring them back over time to really complement that buggy experience and make exploring the park far more fun. That kind of feedback loop helped shape the original Grounded, and we wanted to shape the design for Brook Hollow Park, archetypes, buggies, all of it. We also learned a lot from that first time around. One thing that stood out immediately, players blazed through our content, especially the story. That makes sense. Story, characters, world building, that's kind of Obsidian's thing. It's the flavor we bring to the survival genre. So this time, we're starting with a much bigger baseline.
There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will.
One of our favorite parts of the first game was watching the community uncover clues and spin up theories. This time around, we're leaning even more into that, and we'll be keeping a close eye on what our players discover and how they interpret it. Because you never know what might inspire us as development moves forward.
We really started to hit our groove at the end of Grounded 1. We found that being open about what we were planning and then following through was key to building trust with the community. As a small team, we had to experiment with update pacing and scope, and what we found resonated the most with all of you were bigger, beefier updates, even if it took us a little longer to land. So that's the plan. Larger, more complete updates spaced out just enough so we can take your feedback seriously and make every drop count. You can expect in our big updates, new buggies, new biomes, new building pieces, all the good stuff. And we're launching with a public roadmap so everyone knows what to be excited about in the future.
All of us at Obsidian Entertainment and IDOS Montreal are super excited about how close we are to letting all of you players get shrunk a second time and explore the all-new park on buggies in Grounded 2. If you're a returning Grounded player, we're really looking forward to you experiencing all the improvements. If this is your first time getting Tiny, then all I can tell you is that a world with an entirely new perspective and an entirely new feel awaits you in Brook Hollow Park. It's time to ride together and survive together.
We have been expecting you. This is where it starts. We can change the world as we know it. Can you handle that? Let's do this. to even the odds. Any objections?
Here's to playing in the mud. And when we need their help, they send us a hero.
Here we go.
Please, follow me. Well, hello there. It looks like you're about to do some renovations.
Keep your filthy pickers off me! You think I care?
This is gonna be awesome.
Mayday! Mayday! Hold on to mission control, we're falling!
Had enough yet?